All right. Are we live? Are we live already? Yes, I think we should be live in any second. Yep, we're live. Perfect. All right. A lot of things to accomplish today. I'll just announce on my Discord as well if you guys want to see. This is the Discord. We generally inform everyone live on YouTube. Just going through Rust lifetimes and what else are we going to do? Yeah, debugging the Rust application issue on Wayland. I forgot to share the link. All right, there you go. Perfect. Okay, so we have posted it on YouTube as well, so that's fine. All right. Okay. Sounds great. So I have to open the chat as well, right? Pop out chat. Okay. Can I just drag it here? This is fine. You hi. Relax. Let's go. Wait. How do I? Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Nice. Yeah. Welcome to the stream. Finally, you were able to make it, huh? You were trying to make to the stream. Yeah. Varu. Yeah. I know. Sorry. It's good to see the whole name, by the way. That's why one of the reasons I keep Kushashva and not Kush, because I mean it is what it is, right? Yeah. How have you been? I'm gonna wait for a few more minutes for everyone to join. If anyone, I'm trying out. It's going out well so far. Hyperland, it's pretty smooth. I mean the time will tell if it continues to be smooth. So I don't want to jinx it yet right now. Hey, hi Betram. Betram Guilfoyle. Thank you so much for joining. How are you? I'm good. Give me 1 second, guys. What's the question? I'm super sleepy right now. Like slept for 4 hours. Woke up in the morning at 4:30 for a sports event. Had to rush to Faridabad for that. But a great event. Were you playing cricket? And Apple is don't update it. It will be smooth forever. Is it? So how does the update happen? Hyperland is cool. I want to try it out, but can't get the config just right. I mean, honestly, so I'll tell you one thing, right, guys? And this is just my learning, okay? So whenever I switch window managers, right, it's something like when you're trying to learn a new programming language, or let's say even leave the programming language part, right? Let's say when I started learning NeoVim, okay, not Vim. When I wanted to get into the NeoVim plugins part, understand how everything works, what's the best config, what I did was I picked up Christian's, which is also machine, right? Chris at machine or something, right? So he's the author of Lunar Vim, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pick his personal config, and I started from there. Every day I used to go through his config, trying to debug, okay, what is the key map, what is this and that and all. And then slowly and steadily I tried to make a lot of changes. And if I just show you all the changes, right, it's been a journey since last how many years. Yeah, over here if you see, last month, every month I've been making changes since then, and now I feel very confident of letting go of whatever custom things he has written, right? It's been going on for 2 years now. So you can see, right? I've been learning through this. So what he would do generally, right? Every day I wake up, okay. I'll tell you this. Every day I wake up, I stalk his GitHub repository, okay. And he would have made some changes in his personal repository, right? Of course, because his dot files were also evolving at that time. And I'm like, okay, I would go through his commit, then try to incorporate that into my NeoVim only if I need it, right? So every day, like whatever changes he would make, I will copy them over, then try to go through his commits and understand why did he do that and all, what kind of new plugin he has installed, right? So it's been quite a journey. Same with Hyperland, right? So I mean, I could even show you, for example, here you see that he used to make commits, then I would also make commits. So I used to merge master and all. He has shifted very much from what his old videos configs were, though. Yeah, I mean, I understand, right? So for me, it was very interesting. Like he would do something, then I will do something as well. So it's more like, of course, copying, but with very smart copying and very smartly understanding what he's trying to do, right? Okay. So that's what worked for me. Same with Hyperland. What I'm doing right now is I'm trying on Hyperdot, which what this guy, you don't know me, explain, right? Hyperdots or something. So I went through this. I've installed this so far, but I've already made some changes in the main config for, let's say, installing, like getting a new plugin for workspaces and all. Now I know there are some things that are going to break, or there are few things that I would not like, and then I'll try to go through them, understand how it is written, understand, okay, whether I need that or not, and then I'll try to maintain it, right? And at one point of time, I'll be like, okay, I'm done. Now I'm able to write my own config independent of these pre-built, pre-cooked, whatever you want to call it, right? So I would definitely suggest that if you want to try any new technology, picking up something that is cooked for you, or even documentation, for example. If you think documentation is not cooked for you, you're wrong, right? You generally just copy and paste first. The very first task is to get it done, right? Once it's done, what you do is you start going through, okay, how is it done? Right? Because see, for a lot of people nowadays, attention span, as I always say, has reduced. So you want to see the output. You are very curious, okay, how does it work, and what you end up doing is, once you see the output, you're even more excited than before. Okay. And that's something that I always suggest, that, okay, you don't know how to code, I would just say, okay, open two windows, don't copy paste the code, try to write it yourself. At least you will know that you have written something and it will be in your mind. Once it runs, then you move back and say that, okay, how is it running? Okay, for smaller projects. Yes, exactly, right. True, just to get a base and understanding and build on the top of it. Exactly, that's what I'm telling you, right? See, um, a lot of people have that benefit or luxury to go, like for example, T.S. Suding, right? He has that luxury to build everything from scratch right now. And that's for a reason he calls it recreational programming, right? But let's say if I'm trying to prepare for an interview, right, or I'm very young and I don't have enough luxury doesn't mean like it's a waste, but I have to work for my office as well, and I have to come back and do some things. So, as an example, I was fixing this bug, right, for image annotator Rust, that I think I mentioned on Discord as well, right? Now this was breaking. Okay, so I fixed the ICE compatibility. I've done it. The guy has approved as well. But now what I'm going to do is, I don't understand how the lifetimes work, but I got it to work. I mean, it's not like I don't understand at all. I just don't know why it wasn't working before. Now this is done. The urgent part is done. Okay, and all the tests are there. They are passing. It's not like I've partially fixed it, right? So for me now, I have to go back and understand. Okay, what's going on, right? That's what I have to understand. So my only suggestion to anyone, I mean, of course, Varu, I know that you are aware of this, but to anyone who is watching the stream as well, that when you start learning a new language, what do you do generally, right? You pick up some keywords that are very popular, right? Like I know outside of India, people pick up abusive words and they say that I know Hindi, and they use that abusive word. So they kind of get the fun part of it, right? Then they like, okay, now I get it. Like for example, Bengali, a lot of people don't know, but if you ask them to say, how do you say I love you in Bengali, it's very popular, right? So these things, right? Kemcho, for example, in Gujarati, you might not know Gujarati, but then you will be understanding, very interested in learning Gujarati after that. So I think in terms of picking up any new tech, it always starts with this thing. I'll give you a very sweet example. When a lot of people ask me, why did you enter AI? For me, the interesting part was when I watched NVIDIA's GTC conference, right? The preview. And what happened when I was watching this, they showed off really, really cool things that they built with like GPUs and whatever, right? Whatnot, AI and all. And I'm like, if I can do that using AI, I want to learn what takes to build this outcome, right? What takes me to like get to this outcome, right? All the cricketers, for example, you ask them why did they get started? 1983 World Cup, right? When India won, they're like, okay, what does it take me to get to that point where I represent my nation and we won the World Cup, right? I mean, we win the World Cup, right? So the output, when you see it in front of your eyes right now as an example from others, then you're like, okay, what will it take me to get to that point, right? So I hope right now, for example, these many things that are going on Hyperland, I'm very curious, what would it take me to just be very comfortable in writing my own config, right? I'm very excited about it. So that's what my opinion is. I'm pretty sure you guys will have your own. I'm very eager to hear yours. But yeah, hope it helps. I know again, Varanium, you're pretty much aware of this, but yeah, just wanted to highlight this. Cool. All right. Good, good, good. इश्क हमारा तुम्हारा फितूर है. Good opinion. 10 by 10 definitely resonates. Yeah. I'll tell you a very small incident, right? So when I mean, I'm not totally fit right now, but when I was slightly on a fatter side, or obesity was hitting me very close to being obese, right? I was overweight. So I, for me to get the motivation to lose weight was because of this AI thing, right? At that time, this stable diffusion was going on, right? And you could share your photos and you would get some output, that the best photos automatically generated through AI, right? And you'll look very handsome, very smart. And I never put it on my DP or something like on Instagram, right? I, of course, used it on WhatsApp because I only have 30 contacts, so I know nobody's going to see it. But to me, looking at myself generated from AI when I will look fit, right? That motivated me. Okay, now I want to be like this guy who is me 5 years down the line, right? I think just the power of visualization, it just helps a lot, right? Like, okay, for example, you guys here, you don't know me, is there, Betram is there, Varanium is there, right? I just ask you guys to visualize what you want to do after 5 years. Close your eyes and think about what you want to do, right? It all sounds very philosophical, but I've been doing it for so many years. Like, I definitely know where I want to be, not like what I want to earn. Maybe for some people that's also important, of course earn is important, but to me, just sitting and being able to invent something and is being used by the whole world is amazing, right? Like, if you just think about it, Hyperland, you are the author right now, used by thousands of people. How motivated will you be right now to go back to the basics and try to understand what will it take me to build another Hyperland, right? What would it take me to build another Rust language, for example, if language is something that interests you a lot, right? So I mean, just visualizing, like, if you guys follow Virat Kohli, I've seen one of his speeches, right? And he used to say that every day I would hit the gym and I'll be on the treadmill. Yeah. And he would be imagining beating Australia 1 year down the line and, just taking the trophy back home. And once they, of course, defeated Australia, that dream came true, right? I'm pretty sure they'll lose sometimes as well. Yeah, I'm seeing my life and it's dark. Maybe you're on the moon, bro. It's just that electricity is not there yet. So, but I don't. Is moon always dark? I don't know. Be shredded as fuck and be able to build anything that I want and get paid enough to have some GPU. See? Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So this thing, right? For example, you want to get shredded. What you want to do to achieve that, right? You think about it and be able to build anything. Okay, that means that you need to be diverse, right? You can't just stick to one language. You have to understand. Okay, what will it take me to build very cool things that I personally want? Maybe that 3 to 4 languages that you want to understand and get paid enough is that means that you need to work for US startups. Or even in India, there are people who pay, I don't know how much though, and it's dark. You're on the moon. Congratulations going to the moon. Perfect. Yeah. So I mean, we all should do these practices, right? When you sleep, think about it, what you want to do, and that's what gets you there. That's my personal opinion, and not just mine as well. I think Virat Kohli's as well. So yeah, guys. Hopefully it works. Okay, I forgot to announce my stream, but on a serious note, I want to stay fit enough in my later days and mentor juniors to build their imagination, not be corporate oriented. Connecting the dots from what I've seen. What do you mean by? So have you seen seniors being very corporate oriented? I never talked to any senior about my career guidance. As far as I know, I can't. I think I'm not just in touch with them. That's my problem. That's not their problem. So yeah, connecting the dots. Yes, I think staying fit is very important. Yes, I am playing badminton daily, but I don't think it's just enough to be fit. Of course, diet is important, and I don't want to hit gym. I don't see myself being very six packs or something like that as well. But I want to build muscle and maybe not gym, but I need to do exercises for that. Do this only, get a job and listen only to, yeah, these people are calm down, Kush, calm down, calm down. It's okay. It's gonna be fine. Dude, when I hear about those people, right? I'll tell you this story, right? Okay, I'll be honest here, right? So what's wrong with the Indian mentorship culture, right? I've seen so many good companies. I've not worked with them, of course, but I've seen my friends working in those companies as an example, right? And they are mentoring a lot of interns, right? And what they end up doing is, hey, it's weekend, it's Friday night. What will you do? Go back home? Like what? Why will you go back home, right? Come, let's party, right? Come, let's party. Come, let's party. Party whole day, party every weekend, right? Nobody. That's fine with me. Okay, sure. That's your personal connection you want to build. You want to go out and party. That's your goal as well. After 5 years down the line, you want to waste your life. Sure, you go ahead and do it, right? Or if you want to learn dancing, if you like drinking, that's totally fine. But the point is that nobody comes and says that, hey, there's a meetup that you should attend. Hey, there's this project that I'm working on. Do you want to like contribute to it, right? Or let's say that why don't you work on this weekend, right? Why don't you just try to understand how does it work, right? I don't get it. Like, and I've been in the US, right? When I was in Nvidia, my mentors never. Dude, I'll tell you, right? I used to be in the office on weekends, okay, and of course because I was an intern there, I wanted to take the like, what will I do staying back home? I'm like, okay, I'll go to the office, I'll run or cycle or bike right to the office, and I'll just try and learn something new, right? And my mentor used to jog to the office on Sunday sometimes, and he'll come and he never asked me that why are you in the office or what are you doing and all. He'll like up for a coffee, and I will just be having coffee, and he'll ask me a very simple question, right? Okay, why do you think we don't use Docker, or why do we use Docker for our builds and all? What's the advantage? What's the advantage? What's the disadvantage having it a local build or something, right? For PyTorch. And these questions, just these questions that you ask, now I know that he knows what's right and what's wrong, at least according to his experience level, right? But still used to ask me those questions so that I think about these things, right? I don't just end up saying that, okay, my mentor asked me to do it, so I'm doing it, right? How many mentors in India, for example, will ask you, I mean, there are some, right? Of course, I will, if I'm mentoring someone, I will definitely ask them, hey, if you're free this weekend, why don't you try this thing? Or why don't you go and play badminton? If you want to go and party, why don't you go and party? But next day, take some rest as well, right? I mean, it's not just like, if you want to binge watch a series, go ahead and do it, right? I will even suggest some series, but as a mentor, as a corporate mentor, right, your goal should also be like, okay, how should they grow in the career, right? Not just, so I mean, this culture is whole shit, right? I don't understand, and maybe I haven't. It's not like I have not met people who are like, I've met people who are in India and outside India as well, and they're good and bad everywhere, right? But my opinion is that we all should start. It's just a selfish reason for everyone to ask, because these interns get a lot of benefits, right? In big companies, they will get a hotel, they will get a cab and all. So if they are inviting interns, they'll get a free cab, right? So if a mentor is asking you to do it, it's just a selfish reason, right? Nothing else. And big companies, anyways, like mentors propose their interns as well. So I don't want to get there. Yeah. All right. I should stop, I guess. This is something that kind of irritates me a lot. And I mean, not irritate to be honest, but it's just that I hope people will start realizing, right, all these things. And if not the mentors, but at least the interns, right? They should know what they're doing, right? What's next? What's the next step from here, right? Because then these layoffs will come, and then you'll say that, hey, I don't have any job. You'll just keep. I have cried when I was laid off. It's not like I didn't cry at all, right? I have gotten emotional and all, but what's next, right? For me, I do tell my juniors to party and all. I don't party at all. But then the next time, like, did you enjoy? Yes, all the time too. Yeah, yes, yes. Exactly, right? Like it's not like I don't dance, but yeah, I love dancing, right? I don't drink, of course, because but I do drink virgin mojito because I'm a virgin. but but you see, if you want to party whole weekend, go ahead and do it. But why should a peer influence you to do something, right? Same with projects as well. It's just that a mentor is a corporate mentor, right? You are not supposed to guide him. You're supposed to think about their career as well and how their career ladder will go ahead, right? My mentors, for example, my current company never told me what to do on the weekend. They never asked me to do a project as well, and they never asked me to go out and waste my time as well. They just didn't guide me. I'm like they're like do whatever you want. Yeah, not zabardasti, right? Cool. Enough of ranting, guys. I'm so sorry. Uh, Come on, guys. Whoever is here, can you all say hi in the chat once? And please make sure to like the content. I mean, like the video. Although I don't think any sponsors are looking for me, so it's okay if you decide not to. I'll understand. Cool. Quickly, one thing, guys. If anyone is here, if anyone can help me, can anyone, anyways, please. Right. Can you just okay? How about this? Right. Just quickly go through the. Okay. Let me open this. How do I rearrange? There's one thing I'm trying to figure out. I want to get this. Okay. I don't know how much, but I can try intern here. Don't expect much. Okay. Okay. Let me quickly show you, right? So, what I want everyone to do, I mean, what I would request everyone to do, sorry, bad. Just please go to this repository, clone it, check out to this branch, fix ICE compatibility. What you have to do is cargo build release. Okay. Once this is done, all I want you guys to do is a small favor that once this is done, please go to target release, annotator Rust and just run it. Okay. If you are able to click on select folder and select a folder with images in it, just let me know in the PR. Okay. That's it. That's all I want. Nothing else, no other demands. Because it's right now not working on Wayland. Already doing it. Thank you so much. Yeah. And please just post it on the GitHub repository as well. I mean, PR. It will be great for you to be actively involved as well. All right. Okay. So let's quickly start working on the lifetimes, guys. The aim is to understand how lifetimes work, right? And the reason I'm doing it is because image annotator Rust had huge use of lifetimes and I have not understood it properly yet, or maybe I just didn't focus on the basics. So I'm gonna read it again. We are on the Rust documentation already. I hope you guys can see this as well. All right, let's start. So what is a lifetime? A lifetime is a construct the compiler. A lifetime is a construct the compiler, or more specifically the borrow checker. Oh, okay. A lifetime is a construct, comma, the compiler uses to ensure all borrows are valid. Okay. So basically, the compiler is going to use these lifetimes to ensure all borrows are valid, because sometimes what happens is if you're in a particular scope, right, and that borrow is already out of life, but you're still passing it along to an async function or something like that, right? And in that case, the borrow will never be valid after that. So it might fail in the future. And that's something I like about Rust compilers, is that you can always expect things to pass even once they're done, right? So once you've compiled, you can be confident that, okay, things are going to work, or if they're going to wait. Oh, they're blurry. Okay. Please turn off dark mode. Fonts are blurry. Is this thing blurry though? Guys, can anyone please confirm? Because I can totally turn off grace, by the way, but is this a problem with my stream? I mean, honestly, it looks fine to me. Is the background in Firefox? I mean, if you look at my stream over here, this looks fine. Looks fine to me here, right? Grace, can you please check what's going on? Can you check if you're on the HD quality on video settings? Just make sure that you explicitly click on HD settings, and that will be great. But confirm with me again. I'll figure out. Okay, here is it, right? Okay. Let me know if it's still blurry, and if it's better. It's okay. We can read in light theme as well. It's oh Lord, my eyes. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Actually, coal navy is. I think so. What this? Okay, this one thing that again, good thing that I went through the. I think she is referring to the transparent background. Yeah, I got it. I think what they did was okay. Hi, Captain America. What's up? I'll tell you, right? So this transparency they have introduced. Okay. I'll show you. I'll show you. I think I know what's happening. And see, this is what happens when you are using any other pre-cooked config, and then you end up realizing, okay, there was something breaking. But the good thing is I've gone through it once. I know that they were changing some things for Firefox. Firefox color. No, not this, not this, not this, not this, not this, not this, not this. What was it? It's transparent. Yeah, over here. Is there? It's translucent, right? Blur translucent equal to true. Should I just get rid of this thing? Translucent windows equal to true. I want it to be false, let's say. But then I think I need to open it again, yeah? It's not working. I think I might have to restart, to be honest, for that. But is it really that bad? What was in target that you wanted me to run? Okay, so what I want is, can you go to documents? Sorry, not documents. Okay, let's try to solve that. So I just want you to run this command, right? Just 1 second, Grace. I will get to this. If you have done cargo build release hyphen release, if this is what you have done, right, then it will be ./target/release/annotator rest. I did that and didn't show up. Weird. Are you on Wayland or are you on Linux? Is it a problem with Linux then? Was cargo build release successful for you? Grace, let me try and see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they are changing the. I'm on X11, right? It didn't show up. Nothing. I mean, it should show up. Like, it does show up for me. Was cargo build release successful for you? Okay. Meanwhile, let me see. I'm committed to solving the issue that Grace Hopper is having. Yeah, it failed. The error wasn't read for some reason. I see. Yeah, it failed. It could be because of Rust. No, Grace is totally fine. Also, I'm so sorry. I thought you're a guy, but didn't know you're a girl. So if I call you he at any point of time, I don't know. But Grace Hopper generally is a scholarship for women. So I understand. It's all good. But I'm kind of surprised because I don't have any female viewership. I still think you're a guy, but it's okay if I'll let the name decide. Grace Hopper, only for girls. What was the transparency? Grace Hopper is an NVIDIA CPU. NVIDIA has a CPU. I don't know. Oh wait, I can just open Chrome, right? Let me check Chrome. If I open Chrome, Chrome takes forever to load. I think by default they don't let people use Chrome for this reason. Okay, guys, let me. This is also Firefox. Where's my Chrome? Do I have Chrome opened? Oh yeah, there you go. Right? Is it better, guys? Can anyone tell me if this is better? Okay. For now, can you please go to third? I love. Okay. Is this better, guys? Grace, are you here? Grace Hopper. Fantastic. Okay, perfect. Awesome. All right. Varanium, we can hold off. Chrome is good. Yeah. I just need to disable the blur and all. I think I'll do it next time. And thank you so much, Captain America. Salute to you for being a Marvel fan. But I think Thor is better. So yeah, it is what it is, man. Thor is good. Like when he used to. Okay, fine. Okay, we are here to learn lifetimes. Come on, Kush, focus. Okay. Why is it auto selected though? I don't know. All right. So a lifetime is a construct the compiler uses to ensure all borrows are valid. Seems like some dependency issue. Void Linux might be the problem, and installing stuff on it is a pain. You and your new Linux distros, bro. Just use Ubuntu. No, don't use Ubuntu. It's okay. I think everybody, please like the stream. Yeah. Please hit the like button. Tuck karke aise. When you go and click tap fut like a Thor hammer, right? Just hit it only once though. Don't be like I'm hitting twice. It doesn't work. Okay, cool. All right. So what do we have, right? This is very important. Specifically, a variable's lifetime begins when it's created and ends when it is destroyed. That's for sure, right? While lifetimes and scopes are often referred together, they are not the same. Yes. So, okay. Oh yeah, that's the name of his hammer, right? I forgot how to pronounce. I think I watched a lot of dubbed Marvel movies. I've watched in English ones. Okay. So take just Jesus. Let me send the Nvidia CPU's link. Grace Hopper super chip. YouTube won't let me. Okay. You can just hit a space somewhere and just share it. It's okay. I didn't know that Grace Hopper super chip is there. But being in college, I've just heard that Grace Hopper scholarship is there. That is only for women, and I should not be applying there. That's all I know. Because I'm a guy. Of course, you guys can see. It's very obvious I'm a guy. Come on, guys. Okay, so take for example the case where we borrow a variable via ampersand. The borrow has a lifetime that is determined by where it is declared. As a result, the borrow is valid as long as it ends before the lender is destroyed. Right. So when you're lending this variable to something, when it's destroyed, if the variable is still there, that's totally fine. But let's say variable is destroyed before the lender has like completed using that variable, then it's gonna fail, right? However, the scope of the borrow is determined by where the reference is used. Okay, so that's what they're trying to reference. Oh, you're a guy, proceeds to closing this. I need to, a lot of people ask me this thing that, buddy, if you had a girlfriend, you can just ask her to sit besides you, and then you see 1,000 viewership. I'm like, I don't want to do that. First of all, that's not the aim of a relationship. But it's such an unfortunate thing, right? You have a girl besides you and she's just watching you guys doing it. The work, of course. But yeah. Like the stream, I'll be hopping off now. I just saw a stream being recommended by YT. Thank you so much. Take care and really appreciate you joining Captain America. Again, Thor is the best, but okay, Captain America is also good. Just kidding. Thank you so much again. Take care. Bye-bye. So take for example the case where we borrow a variable via ampersand. The borrow has a lifetime that is determined by where it is declared. Okay. So the lifetime is determined by where it is declared. As a result, the borrow is valid as long as it ends before the lender is destroyed. However, the scope of the borrow is determined by where the reference is used. Okay, we'll see with example, I guess. Yeah, time. No idea for rest left. I understand. Yeah, that's totally fine. Thank you so much for coming. That fills the stream time to learn lifetimes here. In the following example, in the rest of the section, we'll see how lifetimes relate to scopes as well as how the two differ here. So lifetimes are notated below with lines denoting the creation and destruction of each variable. I has the longest lifetime because its scope entirely encloses both borrow 1 and borrow 2. The duration of borrow 1 compared to borrow 2 is irrelevant since they are disjoint. Okay, since they're separate. Okay, that's what it meant by disjoint. So what they have done is they inside a function main, let I equal to 3, right? So lifetime for I over here starts, right? So it's because the variable is declared here, right? And then you have let borrow. So this is like anonymous like namespace, right? Doesn't really have a name to this namespace, but in this scope itself, borrow 1 after this is ends, yeah, because then you're done. So borrow one, you have taken the ownership of I guess. You have borrowed I for once, right? Not really taken the ownership, and you just print it out and then you're done. Similarly, borrow 2 equal to ampersand I, borrow 2 lifetime starts and it's done. Borrow 2 ends, lifetime is ending over here. Note that no names or types are assigned to label lifetimes. This restricts how lifetimes will be able to use, as we will see. Yeah, got it. Okay. So far, so good. Nothing too difficult, I guess. Yes, give me 1 second. Yeah. Is there anything that I should be looking at? All right. Okay. So this is done. So what else is there? Explicit annotation. So the borrow checker uses explicit lifetime annotations to determine how long references should be valid. In cases where lifetimes are not edited, edited. What does it mean? I don't know. To show. Okay. Okay. To show to be no longer valid by drawing a cross over a line through it. Okay. In cases where lifetimes are not elided, is it elided or whatever, Rust requires explicit annotations to determine what the lifetime of reference should be. The syntax for explicitly annotating a lifetime uses an apostrophe character as follows. Yeah, so whenever you put this, basically you're naming this lifetime as an A. Now foo has a lifetime parameter A. So similar to closures, using lifetimes require generics. Additionally, this lifetime syntax indicates that the lifetime of foo may not exceed that of apostrophe A. Explicit annotation of a type has the form apostrophe A T. So it's, if you're passing as an argument, right, or whatever you're basically, let's say you're passing variable B by reference, you're gonna say apostrophe A and then B, where apostrophe A has been introduced, right? T will just be the name of the argument or whatever you're passing. All right. So here, what do we have? When would be the next AMA? Can we have it next week, Sunday? Or we can have it. If you have any questions, are you there on Discord, by the way? So generally, what I'm doing is, what I'm trying to do is, if there are any questions that come up, I'm gonna schedule an AMA. But ideally, it should be every Sunday 9:30 p.m. If you guys want, we can do it tonight. But probably, if you have any particular question, you can ask it right now as well. Since I have not scheduled one, so I'll not delay your question though. So similar to closures, what if this lifetime syntax indicates that the lifetime of foo may not exceed that of A, may not exceed. Explicit annotation of type, okay. In cases where multiple lifetime, the syntax is similar. So over here we have multiple lifetimes, apostrophe A, apostrophe B. Now foo has lifetime parameters. What does it mean though to have multiple lifetimes? In this case, the lifetime of foo cannot exceed that of either. Okay, so it's basically bound that your lifetime of foo should not exceed either of A or B. That's what it means, right? See the following example. Yeah, let's look at the. So again, don't directly look at this function, right? Just let's start from the main. Generally, that's the best way. So you have two variables to be borrowed below, 4 and 9, 4 and 9. Okay. So borrows of both variables are passed into the function. I mean, yeah, please go ahead. Yeah. But if you don't mind, I'll just quickly take 15 minutes to read through this, and then we can come to your questions as well. Is that okay? Yeah. I think it's okay. Yeah, I guess. All right. So print refs we have. Oh, hi. Oh, the prime time is there. Wait, is this the real prime time or no? I guess not, but thank you so much for joining with such a interesting name. Thank you so much for joining. This is the first time in the chat, I guess. So welcome and hope you're doing well. No problem. Thank you so much. Yeah, perfect. By the way, we are just going through lifetimes in Rust, and our just whole goal is to understand how it works. Okay, because my Rust project has been using it, and I want to figure out how to do it. Yeah, I guess so as well. But thank you so much for shout out. Even if you're not the real prime, your shout out matters equally to me. So it's totally fine. Thank you so much for coming, and interesting name and good work on putting the DP. Really hard work out there, right? Great. Thank you so much. Perfect. So what are we doing, right? We are just passing the borrows, right? 4 and 9, and we are just printing the reference and failed borrow. So after this, it should fail. So borrows of both variables are passed into the function. Any input which is borrowed must outlive the borrower, right? So over here, print ref is there. In other words, the lifetime of 4 and 9 must be longer than that of printrefs. Of course, right? For example, think about it. Just think. If I'm giving you 1 lakh rupees, but the end, and you have to use it for the next 1 year, but those 1 lakh rupees are only valid for a day, then of course you can understand the lifetime of 1 lakh rupees was not enough for you to be able to use it for the next 1 year, because that was a requirement. So printrefs, if it needs it for the next, let's say, how much time or whatever, if 4 and 9 expire before that, then there's no use, right? That's what they're saying basically here. And then if you call failed borrow contains no reference to force a to be okay. So failed borrow contains no references to force apostrophe a to be longer than the lifetime of the function, but apostrophe a is longer. Because the lifetime is never constrained, it defaults to static. Okay, so the default lifetime is static. Okay, we'll go through it. Okay, so what does printrefs do, right? So we are saying printrefs takes two reference to i32 which have different lifetimes a and b, because if you see over here, we are assuming okay, we are saying that x might have a different lifetime and y might have a different lifetime, right? And what printrefs is doing is saying that printrefs should not, should at least should not, the lifetime of printf should not be lesser than either of a or b, right? And over here x is this, y is this will work, right? These two lifetimes must both be at least as long as the function printrefs. That's all it's saying, right? A function which takes no arguments but has a lifetime parameter a. Okay, so they have put a over here. What this means is that okay, wait a minute. So we have underscore x equal to 12. Then we have underscore y, and we are giving this lifetime as apostrophe a, right? And underscore x. Now underscore x does not live long enough. Attempting to use the lifetime apostrophe a as an explicit type annotation inside the function will fail, because the lifetime of ampersand underscore x over here is shorter than that of underscore y. A short lifetime cannot be coerced into a longer one. Okay, I think what's happening over here is this comes from here, I'm guessing, right? And just because the lifetime of this is greater, because it has to be greater than because what I believe is the apostrophe a is throughout this whole file, right? And when you have apostrophe a over here, this ampersand underscore x is already going out of life over here. Okay, so that's all it's saying, that it's shorter than that of underscore y, because underscore y has a lifetime of apostrophe a, right? Okay, can I just try calling it? So my query is over here, just one query I wanted to try. So let's start by example. cd documents, stream examples, cd stream examples. Guys, if anyone is new, by the way, I will request everyone to please consider subscribing, but there's no force at all. You know me, I'm such a bad YouTuber. But yeah, please consider subscribing if you can. Cargo new lifetimes, eg cd lifetime star nvim src main .rs, right? See, over here it's already erroring out, right? Type annotation requires that underscore x is borrowed for over here, right? So what I can do is I can say, okay, but then you have to borrow it as well, right? This will, I don't think, work. Yeah, okay. And if I was just not borrowing it, because then it's a part of here. And if this was not, I would just say that it's i32, then this will work, because then you're not saying that y has a lifetime of apostrophe a, right? But let's say my question is already very simple, that if this was not saying this thing, okay, yeah, this thing, right? And well, let's have it here, but let's just get rid of printrefs. So in this case also it will fail, because underscore x is being borrowed here. Use of undeclared. I see. So the lifetime of failed borrow is until this program ends. Attempting to use a lifetime apostrophe a as an explicit type annotation, yes. inside the function will fail. Inside the function will fail because the lifetime of ampersand x is shorter than that of ampersand y. Sorry, underscore y. Because it is apostrophe a, is it? But what's the... A short lifetime cannot be coerced into longer one. I think we'll see. I'm very curious. What do they mean? Okay. Okay, I think I can get rid of this. Alright, yeah. Let's go to another. Yes. Oh, hi, Truello. Thank you so much for joining here. I mean, that's what I'm trying to understand, right? Because function declaring a, yes. But my point is, when this function ends, right? When this function doesn't exist anymore, right? For example, that's over here, right? And underscore x is also in the same scope. So I'm just slightly confused. Maybe I'm just understanding it wrong. Do you have any pointers on that? Like, how is underscore x having lesser ownership than what failed borrow has? Maybe because I understand in lesser, yes, because if there was something above this, right? If I'm doing something above this, of course underscore x is not there. So in that case, yes, but also underscore x is valid throughout this whole program, right? Or maybe it's because borrowed, and that's why this would make sense. I'll wait for your response, but I'll just keep moving ahead as well. Whenever you back, you can. So what else do we have, right? Ignoring Elysian, what is this? Okay. All right. So they have ignored. Okay. All right. So function signatures with lifetimes have a few constraints. Any reference must have an annotated lifetime. Okay. Any reference being returned must have the same lifetime as an input to be static. Okay. So if you are having any reference that is being returned must have the same lifetime as an input or be static. Okay, because one input reference with lifetime apostrophe a which must live as at least as long as the function. Oh, they allow you to edit as well. Function print 1 is there, x ampersand apostrophe a I32. So this should live long enough as with the function. That's why apostrophe a is there, right? Hey, hi Rishikesh. Thank you so much for joining. What's up? Welcome to the stream. How are you doing, guys? Good to see you all joining as well, by the way. Right, so what's next, right? So add 1 apostrophe a, you are passing a again, ampersand apostrophe a. So x is also having the same lifetime. Mutable references are possible with lifetimes as well. Yeah, so they just wanted to show you an example. Multiple elements with different lifetimes. Yeah, in that case, this is also fine, right? In this case, it would be fine for both to have the same lifetime, apostrophe a. Keep moving, my net is slow. Okay, thank you so much. Apostrophe a on function means the lifetime is coming from outside of function. Underscore x is inside of function, so cannot be apostrophe a, cannot be returned out. I see. Okay. Thank you so much. I reacted with heart. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Got it. So over here, for example, print multi is there. It just guarantees that your print multi should be greater than either of A or B, right? That's what it means. Would be fine for both to have the same lifetime, but in more complex cases, different lifetimes may be required. Yeah. Have you learned or used Geeks for Geeks? By GFG, do you mean Geeks for Geeks? I mean, in India, I think GFG, only Geeks for Geeks is popular. But if there's anything else by GFG, let me know. Returning references that have been passed in is acceptable. However, the correct lifetime must be returned. Yeah. So yes. Okay. Just 1 second, Rishikesh. I'll just finish this code and I'll come back to you. Okay. So what do we have, right? Invalid output. Wait, where was I? Yeah. Returning references that have been passed in is acceptable. However, the correct lifetime must be returned. Okay. So you have x apostrophe a and underscore, which is basically not being used. You have apostrophe b, and you're saying apostrophe a and apostrophe b, basically yes. So okay, so because you're returning x, the lifetime should be valid. If it was b, I think it will fail because the lifetime is not really matching, right? That's why. Okay, perfect. So what else do we have? let x equal to 7, y equal to 9, print 1 ampersand x, print multi ampersand x comma ampersand y. Let z equal to pass x ampersand y. Okay, okay, okay. I think this is fine, right? Alright, so far so good. Have you learned or used GFC? I used to use GFC when back in first or second year, but not after that. Because it's very less knowledge for me to understand something fully, right? I would ideally now, given that ChatGPT is there, given that documentations have gotten better, so I don't think GFG really serves the purpose anymore for me. I'm learning about Linux from GFC, but couldn't get an overall view of how the blogs are arranged. Yeah, I mean, see, the GFC, the way they work is they hire a lot of interns or something, or authors, technical writers, right? And they're asked to write blogs. They are not really structured enough that you will say that, okay, you might see multiple blogs from different authors on same topics, right? So it's GFG has a lot of information out there, but I generally don't prefer GFG for that reason. If you want to learn Linux, I think there are better cookbooks on Linux, or just try using it. Yeah. And there should be some certifications as well. As I said, if there are good courses on Linux, there's one thing, right? Missed computer science. There's this thing, yeah, missing semester of CS education. If you guys want to see, if you ever want to learn through whatever that is basics, right, of that you should have been taught, I think this is a great point to start with. It definitely will include a bit of Linux or whatever we use in programming as well, right? I think you should go through it. If particularly for Linux, I think I'll search and let you know. As I said, please join our Discord channel. Just post it there. There are a lot of people who will help you out. But I think this missing.c sale from MIT is really nice. Methods are annotated similarly to functions. Okay. So what do we have? We are having an owner, which is basically a struct, right? Add one, passing the same lifetime parameters, self.0. And basically i32, that means it contains a member which is i32, and that's what you're doing. Self.0, kind of not the best way to, okay, put in the documentation, but it's okay. Owner.add1 and owner.print, okay. Annotation of lifetimes and structures are also similar to functions, yes. So a type borrowed, which houses a reference to an i32. Namaskar Bhrata Night Fury, thank you so much for joining. What's up? How are you doing? Still don't get rest lifetimes, yeah. I mean, I'm still trying to, it's a complicated concept, right? And I wanted to go through the documentation again for the second time to understand what's going on, right? So what are they saying, right? And annotations of lifetimes and structures are also similar to functions. Oh, you don't get as well. I mean, I don't get as well. So kind of same pinch on that, right? So it's all good. That's why, like, I'm going through it again. Struct borrowed. So we are giving a lifetime to the struct itself. A type borrowed which houses a reference to an integer i32. The reference to i32 must outlive borrowed, right? Of course, because if, yes, for sure, right? If this doesn't outlive, then what's the point of having a struct member, right? Similarly, both references here must outlive their structure. Over here as well. Here they are same, so it's fine. But also if you are having apostrophe B, then this would have been apostrophe A comma apostrophe B, because you want the struct to outlive both. No, you want the members to outlive the struct, right? Essentially that's it. And enum, which is either an i32 or a reference to one. So you can have, let's say, enum is there, which is either an i32 or a reference. You can also pass lifetime parameters. And that's what basically saying. Annotations of lifetimes in trait methods basically are similar to functions. Note that impl may have annotation of lifetimes too. Okay, so you have borrowed with having a lifetime of A, and similarly with the member that they have, reference to i32, that's also having a lifetime of A. So what is there? What is going on? Impl apostrophe A default, annotate lifetimes to impl. Okay, what does it give you? So basically it just says that you don't have to give it to default by default. I mean, If you give it to impl, does that mean that every method inside this will have a lifetime of a? Yeah, it will. I mean, see, with Rust, a lot of memory safety, all these things come, but it comes with a. It's not like Python, right? You can just keep on using it and you'll get it right. You have to definitely these lifetimes help, but then understanding them is also not so easy. I mean, if I'll show you the code errors I'm getting in the image annotator Rust application, God, I was tired. It was very difficult. I spent around 3 hours or 4 hours just fixing those issues. So what else do we have? Impl default for borrowed. We are passing the lifetime parameter a. We are having function default, which is returning self itself, self x ampersand 10, right? And this is having a, so this is having a. This is fine. Okay. Just like generic types can be bounded, lifetimes themselves generic use. Yeah, Python is like your code will only work once. Yeah. My opinion is Python. Python was supposed to be an experimental language. At least given the usage, I think it was really good for just getting things done quickly. Scripting, if you want to just automate something and leave it there, it's good, right? You don't have to put a lot of efforts in coding and all. It's fine. But now I think just to keep it going, they're doing a lot. Anyways, I'm too young or still getting started to comment on this. So yeah. Alright, so what else do we have? Just like generic types can be bounded, lifetimes themselves generic use bounds as well. The colon character has a slightly different meaning here, but plus is the same. Note how the following read. Okay. So we have T, which is a generic, colon apostrophe A. All references in T must outlive lifetime. Okay. So all references in whatever template type T, generic type T you have, must outlive lifetime A. Okay, this is what it means. Now then you have trait plus apostrophe A. Type T must implement trait T, and all references in T must outlive. So over here, what they're basically saying is you're having a struct ref, okay? And you're saying, okay, ref is having a lifetime of A, right? Which is similar to what we are passing over here, this T, right? And then you're also saying that this T, all references in T must outlive lifetime A. So it can be used. So ref contains a reference to a generic type T that has an unknown lifetime A. Now T is bounded such that any references in T must outlive A as well. Additionally, the lifetime of ref may not exceed A. It makes sense if you think about it, right? Whatever, let's say you're passing a struct or something over here, which is T, right? You want all the references inside it as well to outlive A. Otherwise, if you pass it and if they're not outliving A, they might fail in between if you're trying to use them, right? It won't make sense. So that's why I think this is a constraint there. A generic function which prints using the debug trait. Okay, let's look at it here, right? This is a, how are they using it? Let x equal to 7. Ref x, you create a ref of it. You're passing ampersand x, right? Print ref, ampersand ref x. Yeah, it makes sense, right? And you're passing print. Okay, so just look at this. They are first trying to print a reference and then trying to print the variable. What does ref do, right? Let's look at this. X equal to 7. You are passing a ampersand x over here. Now, where is it ref? Ref is here. Ref is essentially just passing a parameter. Did I do this? Yeah, sorry, that was my fault. That's why what is going on? What's the syntax? So you're passing a type T, which is I32, I believe, right? And by default, everything, of course, it's a simple variable. So I don't think there's any point of considering that all the references to generic type T, don't have to consider that here. So when we call print ref, okay, now of course this is having apostrophe A, right? And this comma T just means that here a reference to T is taken where T implements debug. Oh, here where here we are doing where T has to implement debug, because this is this colon question mark we are doing, right? For that you need to implement debug, where T implements debug, plus it should have it should outlive, like all the references in T should outlive apostrophe A. That's what it means, right? That's it. Yeah, that's it, right? In addition, apostrophe A must outlive the function. Yeah. A generic function which prints using the debug trait. Here, they don't care about the lifetime. right? So they just have it here because we are not passing this is a reference as well. We are not passing that as a reference. So I think this by default takes the ownership. So if I just try to run this code, what they have, let's go to this code, guys. I'm sorry, I'll not be reading through the chat for 1 second. So don't be surprised for just a, but I can see the chat on the left monitor. Okay, what was the name? Lifetime Sag, right? Now what I want is over here, let's say I want to pass it back, right? And yeah, and the rest, for example, is runner as well. Yes, yes, yes. And the thing is, I want to use Vim bindings and all, and it's just faster for me to do it here. But yeah. Oh, plus, oh, sorry. Is it better? Thank you for letting me know, yeah, Night Fury. Good. One thing I wanted to try. Let's say refx plus 4, and I want to store it as let ref y. Yeah, I just wanted this to fail, to be honest. And this refx is reference x. Oh yeah, it's a reference, right? What does it return though? It's a ref, right? Can I do ref x dot 0? Yeah, and now what I want to do is I want to pass it. Yep. No, not yet. Sorry, I want one thing to fail. There you go, right? So that's what I was just saying. So for those people who are just starting in Rust, right? When you pass something without reference, what happens is that this has moved. The ownership has moved to that function, right? After this, refx doesn't exist anymore. Okay, so if I just try to even use, because the variable is moved now, okay? So it doesn't exist at all. If you see what it says, use of moved value used here after move. So move has occurred already, right? So that's why if you want to pass ampersand, that will work. Okay? I just wanted to show you guys. That's it. I wanted to confirm my understanding as well. Rust allows point arithmetic. Yes, it does. It does. You can dereference. I mean, as long as it's a valid thing, yeah, you can do that. All hail spam. Ah, shit. What happened? Did I miss anything? Was someone spamming? What? So a longer lifetime can be coerced into a shorter one so that it works inside a scope it normally wouldn't work in. This comes in the form of an inferred coercion, whatever, by the Rust compiler, and also in the form of declaring a lifetime. Oh no, good. This is not the English I understand. You said you can't see, and I said let's spam, but you said you can read, so I was like, ah shit. Okay. Yeah, that's why I have 3 monitors. I need to look at the chat everywhere possible. I need to be a good YouTuber to give justice, right? All right. So what does this English mean, man? My English teacher didn't teach me all this, but my mother was my English teacher. So I'm going to call her after this and say that, Mom, please explain me. Okay, so what do we have, right? Function main let first equal to 2. This is having a longer lifetime, yes. Then you have a shorter lifetime, let second equal to 3. Right, so the product is, yes, you multiply, this will work. Yes, this will work. By default, this will work, yes, because first is having a longer lifetime anyways, right? And you're using it with the shorter lifetime. I think that's what they meant. By default, compiler will understand. This comes in the form of inferred coercion by the Rust compiler and also in the form of declaring a lifetime difference. What does it mean by lifetime difference, mister? So here Rust infers a lifetime that is as short as possible. The 2 references are then coerced into that lifetime. Okay, so what does it mean? We have A. We are saying first is A and second is B. So we are just saying that if multiply should just live longer than... No, so it's having a lifetime A, right? It's not saying A comma B. Oh, they're both from A. Oh, is it? Okay. So Rust infers a lifetime that is as short as possible because they don't want to have longer lifetime inferred, is it? Because over here, first and second were having different lifetime, okay? But we are passing A and A here. That's what it meant, I guess. And when they do apostrophe A colon apostrophe B comma apostrophe B, reads as lifetime apostrophe A, lifetime A is at least as long as apostrophe B. Here we taken in ampersand A I32. Yeah, that's what, yes. So first and second have different lifetimes, but compiler treats it as one. They like compiler was able to infer, right? Yeah, thanks, yes. So choose first is what we are doing. We are just saying that apostrophe A, the lifetime A should live at least as long as apostrophe B, right? And so we are basically saying what do you call it, limitation on A, that okay, it should be living at least as long as B. And then we are returning lifetime B because it's anyways living as long as B is living. That's why. Over here, as you can see that we have passed two different lifetimes. Here we taken here, so we are taking apostrophe A, right? But we are returning the life like something that has and return apostrophe B. Yeah. So here we are returning apostrophe B as a result of cohesion. I think that's what it meant. So it was able to figure out because of this. I think if this was not there, then if you're returning, because first might have, we haven't asked it to limit that. Okay, first should live as long as B is also living the lifetime, right? I think that's what it meant, I guess. Let me just give it a try. So let's say if you were having this code, over here, if I were to get rid of this condition, yeah, this will fail, right? Lifetime may not live long enough, right? Consider adding the following. Yep, exactly, right? Because you're basically returning over here, you're returning this. But if this was A here, I believe this would work. In that case, this B just becomes useless, right? You could just get rid of it. Yeah. In that case, it's not needed at all because we are not using this variable, right? You guys get the point what I wanted to show? Yeah. Static lifetime, yes. Rust has a few reserved lifetime names. One of those is static. You might encounter it in two simulations. A reference with static lifetime, static star, hello world. Static is a part of trade bound. So, okay, this could be first, a reference with a static lifetime. And static is a part of a trade bound as well. What does it mean, static? Okay, where we say that, okay, T should have a lifetime of static, is it? Both are related, but subtle differences there. And this is a common source for confusion when learning Rust. Okay, let's go through it. So what does reference lifetime mean, right? As a reference lifetime, static indicates that the data pointed to by the reference lives for the remaining lifetime of the running program. That's what static means, right? As long as the program is running, it's running. So remaining lifetime of the running program, it can still be coerced to a shorter lifetime. It can still, yeah, I mean, shorter lifetime is fine. It cannot just, you cannot extend it to a longer lifetime, right? There are two common ways to make a variable with static lifetime. Kind of constant, yes. I think there's a static versus const. I think there was a quick thing, right? Let's just go to Rust. Look at how much time it takes. Do Google. An unchangeable value? Yeah, as you can see, right? So it's the same thing, right? Const is a unchangeable value, but static is mutable value with static lifetime. That's it. Yeah, makes sense. With in terms of lifetime, it looks like a constant to me as well. Yeah. So there are two common ways to make a variable with static lifetime, and both are stored in the read-only memory of the binary. Okay. Oh, they are both in the read-only memory. Make a constant with a static declaration. Make a string literal which has type static star. Okay, so you can have a read-only memory. See the following examples for display of each method. Static num i32 equal to 18. Make a constant with static lifetime. So this makes sense. Returns a reference to num where its static lifetime is coerced to that of the input argument. So basically you have shortened the lifetime, right? That's what it means, I guess. Coerced static, and you're basically saying, okay, num is now living for lifetime A. That's it. Until this function is valid. I guess so. So over here you create a static star, make a string literal and print it. You are printing it, sure. When static string goes out of scope, the reference can no longer be used, but the data remains in the binary. But the data remains in the binary. Make an integer to use for coerce static. So we have lifetime num equal to 9. Now we want to coerce this num to basically lifetime of lifetime num. Basically shorten the lifetime, right? So coerce static equal to coerce static, and you pass it here. You print it. Num stays accessible because you have just coerced, right? Num still has a static lifetime. That's what it means. But why would you coerce a static lifetime then? What is the value that you get out of it? Okay, I'm just very curious. What is it? what is the value that you get out of doing this? Let's just run this again. Dot target. Num18 stays accessible, right? But if I had to print num here as well, it will just work. So maybe they just wanted to show that it works. Why? Because over here this is returning ampersand. I say, oh yeah. So they just wanted to show you that okay, ampersand num, if even if it's a static lifetime, it will work for a shorter lifetime. I think they just wanted to express themselves. Since static references only need to be valid for the remainder of a program's life, they can be created while the program is executed. Just to demonstrate, the below example uses box leak to dynamically create static references. In that case, it definitely doesn't live for the entire duration, but only for the leaking point onward. Yes. So it doesn't have to be like you have to initialize it in the first hand, like where the program starts, right? Can from there until the program ends, right? So that's what it means, I guess. So you're having random back and we are returning a static lifetime, right? U size 100. So random back you create of U size 100 size, I think. Assert both are equal. And box leak boxed. So you create a box new. I don't know what's box, by the way. I have to read about arc and box. Box new 0 100 size. That's what it means, right? Try fill mute RNG random number generator unwrap sure box leak boxed. You basically are saying that okay, I'm going to create a dynamic static reference here. Here it was not dynamic. I mean here it was not static lifetime, right? But here they have used box leak to dynamically create static references. Consumes and leaks the box, returning a mutable reference. Note that the type T must outlive the chosen lifetime percentage. So basically, that's what it does. Alright, trait bound. As a trait bound, it means the type does not contain any non-static references. Example, the receiver can hold on to the type for as long as they want. It will never become invalid until they drop it. What does it mean? As a trait bound, so basically you're having a reference. I think they showed it here, right? You can have two meanings to it. Yeah, oh yeah, static is a part of a trait bound, right? So what does it mean? As a trait bound, it means a type does not contain any non-static references. Example, the receiver can hold on to the type for as long as they want. It will never become invalid until they drop it. So they will always have only static references. That's what it means. There will be no reference that is not non-static. Why include does not contain any non-static references? This is not a non with cancel and clauses. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. It's important to understand this means that the own data always passes a static lifetime bound, but if a reference to that own data generally does not. Everything seems while studying but when we actually encounter in real life, at least I don't understand how to proceed. I think so. That's the point, right? I'll go through the image annotator Rust project that I've been working on, and there's a lot of code for we all like. We can just learn lifetimes for lifetime. Man, I have been tired just going through all these things, right? You see, the number of references I have is just a lot. Everywhere you will see I have references, and I'm pretty sure I'm doing really bad job with dealing with references there. So we can definitely go through it. Also, static lifetimes are stored in read-only memory, and difference between constant static is one is mutable and other is not. But if they exactly right, that's what I was confused as well. I'm gonna go through this once. We can ask ChatGPT about it. To be honest, let's see. Let's just pass it. It seems there might be confusion in understanding. Let's clarify the concepts of constants. Okay, no. Okay, sorry. Okay, stop. I meant Rust. In Rust language. In Rust, the concepts of constant static. Yeah, I mean, for me, it didn't sometimes. So, unfortunately. So, in Rust, the concepts of constant static have specific meanings and they are not synonymous. Okay, in Rust, constants declared with the const web keywords are true constants and their values are known at compile time. They are typically used for values that will not change during the entire program execution. Constants are always immutable. Yes. Static in Rust, a static keyword is often used to declare static variables. Unlike constants, the value of a static variable might be computed at runtime. Okay, maybe that's what they meant. However, Rust static variables are default immutable. If you want a mutable static variable, you need to use mute. The use of unsafe in this example is required because modifying a static variable is considered as an unsafe operation due to potential concurrency issues. Regarding the statement about static lifetimes being stored in read-only memory, this is not accurate in this general case. The default behavior of static variables in Rust is to be stored in read-only memory, but mutable static variables declared with mute are an exception to this rule. They are typically stored in a section of memory that allows mutability. It's important to note that Rust has a strong emphasis on safety, and using mutable static variables is generally discouraged due to potential issues with concurrency and safety. Alright, this helps, guys. I'm pretty sure this is true as well, to be honest. This makes sense, right? Yeah? Night Fury, yes? Kick Butowski. There was a Chuck Butowski, if you have watched Chuck. And this Butowski, I don't know. I mean, this is fine, right? I'm pretty sure this is what, if I just Google, it's not wrong as well. Yeah. But they must be initialized with a constant expression of function call. I think, see, that's the thing. It's very hard to find these things, right? But I mean, I think that's fine. Cool. So where were we, right? Trade bound. It's important to understand this means that any owned data always passes a static lifetime. Yeah. So we are basically saying, that, okay, input everything, okay, should debug. We are saying impl debug plus static. This is fine. Tomorrow it's going to rain in Bangalore. Wow. I'm new to this channel. May I know what window manager are you using? Hi, Kik. First of all, thank you so much for joining. Welcome. And I'm using Hyperland. I just switched to Hyperland a few days back. It's really nice. I'm using it on NVIDIA GPU, by the way. Surprising, it's Wayland, totally Wayland. I'm very happy with it so far. Don't jinx it. But yeah, also, if you guys don't know, there's a match going on. Oh, wow. India's gonna lose again. Nice. All right. So that's what I'm using. And yeah, it's pretty neat. All right. Okay, perfect. I did stream, by the way. I believe I streamed on YouTube and Twitch as well while I was switching to Hyperland. So it's good if you want to take a look, you can please feel free to do that. So what's happening here? So we are passing printed I. I is owned and contains no references. That's by default static. Oops, ampersand I only has a lifetime defined by the scope of main, so it's not static because, yeah, I'll be leaving now. I got a project idea and gonna try researching about it. See you later and keep up the good work with the stream. Thank you so much, Varu. Good luck with your project as well. Take care. Thank you so much for joining. Perfect. So I does not live long enough because here printed is basically saying I want it to be static, right? But static, it's not static because it just ends when main is defined by the scope of main, right? So I think that's what it meant. Although I'm kind of confused because when main ends, the program also ends, right? Borrowed value does not live long enough. Argument requires that I is borrowed for static. I dropped here while still borrowed. Okay. All right, I'm gonna look at this later on. Some lifetime parameters are overwhelmingly common, and so the borrow checker will allow you to omit them to save typing and to improve readability. Okay, elision exists in Rust solely because these patterns are common. Like for example, I have not used lifetimes quite a lot in simple codes. So it makes sense. I think it just makes sure that, okay, it's very obvious. So elided input, we are not passing any lifetime parameter here, but over here we are just passing parameters. That's fine. But by default, it's static, right? I guess so. That's what it meant, right? Over here. I is own and contains no references. That's the static, yeah, by default. All right, guys. We are done. We are done with lifetimes, I guess. Well done, everyone. Now is the time that we actually go to the code and try to understand what was going on in image annotator and try to understand all these lifetimes in practical use cases, right? I think that's something we need to do because Even though how much we say that we understand, we will never understand unless until we use it. But at least we are clear on the basics, what's happening, right? We are definitely clear on that. Huh. Okay. Guys. Okay. Why am I analytics? Is there anything else I should see? If anyone is new, guys, please feel free to subscribe and you can say hi in the chat. If there are any questions, you can reach out. Otherwise, what's the time? 8 o'clock, right? I need to go out. Should I have dinner? Yeah, I should have dinner. Or should I skip? I should have dinner. Yes. And then I'll be going out for a walk. And then I'll be coming and streaming again, hopefully. Yeah, go have dinner. Yeah. I don't know what to eat though. I'm not hungry. I can skip dinner tonight. I'll just have lots of water. I'll be skipping dinner, but I'll go out for a walk, guys. Um, I think I'm feeling a slight burden. Okay, so I need to go and take a breather. Okay, because tomorrow is Monday. There's a lot of work as well. By the way, what's the date tomorrow? What's the date today, guys? Hey, where's the date? It's what? 11th, right? 11th November. Okay, I need to increase the font size. It's 11th November, right? Tomorrow is 12th. Okay, yeah. Cool. I'll be going back home on 25th or something, but I'll be uploading. Oh, sorry, Feb 11th Feb. Sorry, guys. You can see I'm very tired now, so I'll go back and take some rest. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for being here. Again, lot of gratitude to all of you for being here. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you're new. But in any case, I'm still grateful even if you don't. So thank you. Thank you, everyone. Take care. You were watching me on YouTube. Bye bye. Take care. Have fun. Enjoy your night.